When a couple split up, whether that be separating or divorcing, it is often the children that are hit the hardest. It's really important that the parents put the best interests of the children first, and getting some advice about how to deal with the problems that arise is a very good idea. It's obviously only part of the picture, but a lawyer can give you some advice about the duties and responsibilities you have to your children if you're going through a separation or a divorce. It's really important that you understand what the possible outcomes could be for your children, and that you try to deal with it as responsibly as possible. One concept that people often don't understand is that of parental responsibility. Parental responsibility means whether a parent has all the rights and duties and responsibilities in relation to a child. Not all parents have parental responsibility automatically, and it's important that you understand whether you are a parent that does have that parental responsibility. Parents that do have parental responsibility have the right to have a say in all matters to do with the child's welfare. These days, there is no such thing as custody. It's been replaced by a concept of residence, and residence literally means where the children will live. The best solution is that which is agreed between the parents, and there may be any number of ways that they can achieve this, either between themselves or with the assistance of something such as mediation, where they can go along and be assisted in negotiating arrangements. If they really can't reach an agreement between themselves, then either of them may refer the issue to the court to be decided. The court will apply the welfare checklist, which contains a number of factors: the wishes and feeling of the child, the needs of the child, the wishes of the parents, but ultimately they'll have to make a decision as to what they think is in the child's best interests. The idea of access has now been replaced by the concept of contact, and contact describes the arrangements whereby the child gets to spend time with the parent that they don't live with. As with all of these matters, it's really best if the parents can reach an amicable arrangement between themselves or with the help of mediation. Obviously, there's going to be some occasions where that's not possible, and the parent that's looking for the relationship with the child can, if necessary, refer it on to the court for the court to decide what's in the child's best interests. Contact can be anything from letters and phone calls with the child, through perhaps supervised visits if there are factors that suggest that's a good idea, all the way through to a shared care arrangement whereby the child spends almost an equal amount of time with that parent. It's important to remember that this is about what's in the best interest of the child, and that it's the child's right to have a relationship with both parents rather than the parent's right to have contact with the child. Child maintenance, or child support as it's more commonly known, is the amount of money that's paid from the parent who doesn't live with the child to the parent who has care of the child most of the time. It arises whenever parents separate or divorce, and it's something which is, as always, best agreed between the parties. If the matter can't be agreed between them, then it can always be referred on by them to the Child Support Agency, as it used to be known, and it's now being taken over by the Child Maintenance Enforcement Commission, or CMEC. They will apply a simple percentage to the absent parent's income to decide an amount that's payable to the person who looks after the child most of the time. Because it is just a statutory formula that is applied to the absent parent's income, it doesn't really bear any resemblance to what is actually needed by the person who looks after that child to pay for all of their normal outgoings. This can sometimes lead to disputes between the parents over things like who's going to pay for the school uniform, who's going to pay for holidays, who's going to pay for school shoes. This is why it's so important that parents are able to liaise with each other and try and find sensible arrangements between themselves that actually work in their circumstances. If you are separating or divorcing and you have children, it's really important that you get some professional advice about the issues that are going to arise to try and make sure that you make arrangements which are the best for your children.